Welcome back. You're still watching the morning show here on Arise News. Before we head over to what's trending ahead of the Revolution Now protest scheduled for today, reports reaching us state that the detachment of police have taken over the premises of Sahara Reporters Lagos office at Isaac John Street in Ikeja. Now, workers have been denied access from their offices as early as 7 a.m. And shortly, we will be connecting over to our very own correspondent, Ojy Okpe, who is on ground there to give us more detailed reports. However, for now, we do have Ojy Okpe in the studio with us with details on what's trending. Good morning, Ojy.
Good morning,
Leila. How are you? Good morning, Dr. Bati.
Good to see you.
How are you guys?
We're good. Good. Better now that you're here.
Yes, better. And good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in the U.S. Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg has been honored by Amnesty International USA. The organization presented her with the 2019 Ambassador of Conscience Award. Since arriving in the U.S. by carbon-neutral boat last month, she has joined climate protests and had a string of media appearances as part of her Fridays for Future movement. The 16-year-old accepted the award on behalf of all the fearless youth fighting for their future.
This award is for all those millions of people, young people around the world, who together make up the movement called Fridays for Future. All these fearless youth fighting for their future. A future they should be able to take for granted. But as it looks now, they cannot. The changes and the politics required to take on this crisis simply doesn't exist today. That is why every single one of us must push from every possible angle to hold those responsible accountable and to make the people in power act and to take the measures required.
Amazing speech as she gives always. I am so proud of this fearless young girl, for what she's doing for humanity in the world. It's such an amazing gift. I think that she is an addition to the world, absolutely exceptional.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Greta Thunberg.
Right.
She's just 16 years. And we're seeing, with her activism on action, positive action,
right,
on climate, the kind of leadership that she's providing, which has not been provided even by, political leaders and by countries that should be leading, the positive action, the call for international action against the climate crisis. Before now, she got the Freedom Prize in France. Now she has the recognition from Amnesty International.
Right.
And I think, some people have also proposed that she deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
I think she will get it.
Yes, and it's quite, instructive that the United Nations is focusing at this General Assembly specifically on climate action. 3 years after the Paris Climate Accord was signed. On September 20, Greta Thunberg will again take part in a public demonstration about the climate crisis in the world. On September 21, you will have the Youth Summit on climate. And then on September 23, you will have the special focus by the United Nations on climate crisis, with the Secretary General of the UN, Antonio Guterres, saying that it's a global risk, that nature is fighting back, and everyone, must come together to do something to protect our planet.
Yes, her Friday for Future activism has been going on for, almost a year now. I think this Friday, as you said, September 20, in Germany, they're going to lead the whole of Europe with this whole protest. Let's take some news under entertainment now. Hollywood actor Will Smith and Helen Mirren will read a bedtime story during a one-night fundraising event to help fight global homelessness. Smith and Mirren will each tell their story from different locations during the world's big sleep out on December 7th. The campaign will encourage people in 50 cities globally to sleep outside for a night in hopes of raising $50 million for the charity. Will Smith's reading will take place in Times Square in New York, while Helen Mirren will appear in Trafalgar Square in London. I think this is such an ambitious movement. I mean, I think $50,000 is ambitious, but it's so amazing that these people are able to use their voice for this type of cause.
I think it's a very fun initiative that they've put to that as well, and a great way to really get people to understand
what it means to be homeless. I remember watching his movie, this is Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, just to know that you can really be that homeless and still try to become somebody afterwards. So I think it's such a great initiative. I can't imagine what people will feel like sleeping outside. Imagine if that happens in Lagos State. I mean, I don't know how that would be, but I think it's such a commendable thing.
Other, celebrities are also joining.
Yes.
And, Helen, Mirren and, Will Smith. They see this as a way of giving back to society. So that is the main message. And Will Smith, instructively, again, is involved in providing support over the problem with the Amazon forest.
Right.
And he's been engaging, the authorities there and other groups. So you're right. I think it's quite commendable, focusing on the plight of the homeless. But perhaps if you go a step further, because this is not just happening in 2 countries, it's happening
in 50 cities.
Yes,
that's what's going to happen
across the world.
Right.
Maybe again we have to talk about the responsibility of government. In those states where homelessness is really a major crisis, government will have to play its part. The private sector will have to play its part.
Really happy about the movement.
Well, I mean, I think we can let Ojy go.
Thank you, Ojy.
Thank you very much, Ojy.
That is all that we have on this segment of the morning show. We'll take a short break now, and when the show returns, Adesuwa, Rufai, and Shaitan will be here to take you through the rest. Stay with us.